All of my subscribers know that my channel is 100% cemetery related. Any video that I do is going to have something to do with the cemetery. I like to visit famous graves, even non-famous graves. I love to search out stories and folklore from cemeteries and bring those stories to you. That's just what I do on my channel. If you like that kind of content, click subscribe and join me, because that's all you're going to get from me. But I got to thinking of all the famous graves that I have visited and all the ones that I want to visit. What are some of the graves that I would love to be able to visit and bring to you, but I can't? So what I'm going to do, this is just going to be a short list. We are going to take a look at some of the celebrities whose graves that no one is allowed to visit. These graves are absolutely off limits to the public. So let's take a look. I think it'll be a fun little journey, and we'll see who is on my list. And the first person that I am going to profile is the eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant. Andre, obviously, he was involved in professional wrestling. That's what he was known for. But he also invaded some pop culture as well, appearing in some movies, The Princess Bride, appearing in some commercials. And for a long time, when you saw Andre the Giant, everybody knew who that was. So Andre actually, being in the spotlight and being such a large man, he attracted a lot of attention. So he bought a ranch in North Carolina, and this became his sanctuary, a place that he can go and get away from the hustle and bustle and just be a normal person. When Andre passed away, it was his wishes that his ashes be spread in a garden on his ranch. So Andre the Giant, final resting place on his ranch in North Carolina. Again, off limits to the public, but I would absolutely love to be able to pay my respects at the final resting place of the eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant. The next off-limits final resting place that we are going to take a look at is that of Michael Jackson. Very polarizing figure. You've got some people out there who support him and some that absolutely do not. I'm looking at this from a pop culture perspective. He was one of the most popular entertainers of all time. And, you don't get the name King of Pop without having some sort of musical influence. And Michael Jackson passed away unexpectedly back in 2009. And his final resting place is in Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, basically Los Angeles County. He is in the great mausoleum, the Holly Terrace. And that terrace, and I believe that mausoleum as well, is private and locked to the general public unless you have some kind of major security clearance or family or something like that. Michael Jackson's final resting place is absolutely off limits to the public. Next, we are going to take a look at Andy Griffith, and I think Andy Griffith, without a doubt, is one of the most popular entertainers, one of the most beloved and well-respected entertainers, and he was born in Mount Airy, North Carolina. If you ever go to Mount Airy, there is a lot of Andy Griffith stuff there to see. If you were a fan, I would highly suggest that. Andy lived a reclusive life after he retired, and I don't blame him, just to be honest about it, but he passed away in 2012, and he had pretty much an immediate burial. I don't even believe he was embalmed from what I remember, but he is actually, his final resting place is on the Griffith family estate in Roanoke Island in North Carolina. It is private, residential, and absolutely off limits to the public. So Andy Griffith is definitely a grave that I would love to visit. Another icon of professional wrestling, one of the all-time great entertainers, very athletic, very charismatic, the Macho Man, Randy Savage. And the Macho Man Randy Savage, he passed away unexpectedly in 2011 in Florida. And he was cremated, and his brother Lanny tells a story that Macho Man had a beloved dog named Hercules. When Hercules passed away, the Macho Man Randy Savage had him cremated and his ashes scattered beneath a tree. And Randy gave instructions that if he passed, he wanted the exact same thing. He would say, if it's good enough for Hercules, it's good enough for me. So I would love to be able to go to that place and pay my respects to the Macho Man Randy Savage. Again, it is off limits, but his final resting place is in Florida. There is no one that personified stock car racing quite like Dale Earnhardt. He was definitely one of the most popular of all time, and in addition, one of the best of all time. And when he passed away in that crash in the Daytona 500 in 2001 in Daytona Beach, Florida, he left a gaping hole in the racing community. His final resting place is on his estate in Mooresville, North Carolina, and from what I gather there, it is some sort of mausoleum that he is buried in. And I would love to be able to pay my final respects to Dale Earnhardt. He had such a cult-like following. I definitely understand why this is not something that the public can access, because I feel like that the public would be there all the time, and, you know, the family will want to be able to do that, visit, without dealing with any of that. So Dale Earnhardt, Mooresville, North Carolina, his final resting place, just another of the final resting places of celebrities that are absolutely off limits to the public. There's definitely a lot of intrigue on this list. I mean, Dale Earnhardt, Michael Jackson, Andre the Giant, Andy Griffith, the Macho Man Randy Savage. I mean, those are names that the fan base would definitely like to be able to pay their final respects. But on the other hand, I understand why not. Like I said, I am a cemetery channel. All of my videos are 100% cemetery related. I've got some more ideas on this type of content that will be coming in addition to my normal cemetery visits and the little documentaries that I do on those that I visit. If you like cemetery content, that's all I do. Please like, subscribe, and join me. I would love to have you with me and become part of my Whit Dogs community. We have a little community here. I'm very interactive. I try to respond to all the comments. So thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.